let's talk about some good news. Well, I mean, I think it's good news. You guys might not. I am, of course, as you know, out here now in Grand Rapids at St. Paul's Anglican Catholic Church, Grand Rapids, which is in West Michigan. And I went to a rally the other day. Since I'm out here in the States, well, it wasn't actually a rally that I went to. It was a Christian event. Now, I was invited as a priest, as a pastor, to pray for the former president and hopefully next president, Donald Trump. So I went out to this event. I was invited to speak for 3 minutes on my perspective as a Brit in America of why this election is important, without necessarily endorsing any candidate, but just to put my perspective across. And I believe Samson has that video to show you. So let's have a look at what I managed to say. Bear in mind, I was given 3 minutes, and that got
Please
down to
welcome
2.5
the host of Common Sense Crusade, Father Calvin Robinson.
Thank you. I must start off with an apology. I hail from England. This is how I speak. I hope you can still understand me. But I come in love with a warning. My beautiful nation, your motherland, has fallen. England is no longer part of Christendom. It is a beautiful shell, reminiscent of a time when people believed in Christ, and they built monuments in memorial of Christ, where architects may build something that they would never see the fruit of, but they built it because it was for the greater glory of God. Unfortunately, those buildings are empty. The average attendance of a church in the United Kingdom is 25. People have stopped going to church and they've stopped praying, and as a result, the Marxists have taken over. The average English family has a birth rate of 1.4. Mother and father are no longer replacing each other. At the same time, we have mass illegal and legal immigration, which means that the Mohammedans are outbreeding us 10 to 1. For the first time in my nation's history, Christianity is no longer the predominant faith. Probably in my lifetime, Islam will be the predominant faith of the United Kingdom. So I come here to warn you, don't do what we did. Keep up the prayer, keep the churches full, keep the Marxists away. Just this month alone, in fact, just this weekend, my friend was arrested for releasing a documentary. But just this month, I've had a friend arrested, charged, and found guilty of silent prayer in their own heads. So we've gone past the point of these Marxists policing our language and policing our tone to them policing our thoughts. We have these buffer zones around abortion centers where the police come up to you and say, are you praying for the lives of unborn children? And if you say yes, you get arrested. Because the Marxists appreciate the power of prayer. They appreciate that our God is a true and living God and wants to help the vulnerable and does not want us killing our offspring. But the Marxists want that to be the case. And so my message to you guys is keep the Marxists away. We took Christ out of our schools. We took Christ out of our judiciary. We took Christ out of our public life. Don't do the same. I thank God that you guys have your First Amendment that protects you and your Second Amendment to back that up. But not all of your politicians believe in those amendments. The Marxists want to erode your constitution because they forget that your rights do not come from government. Your rights come from God. And we need to put Jesus Christ back at the head of everything, including the state. And to that I say, Jesus Christ may not be on the ballot box, but the Jezebel is. So you know what to do. God bless.
And there you have it. My message to the Americans was look, don't do what we've done. And you should look at the United Kingdom as a warning, please. Look at the whole of Western Europe as a warning. Don't fall to the same traps. And like I say, I had to cut that down because time was short. But some of the stuff I wanted to say was that it is an issue of free speech, and that it is an issue of freedom of thought. And these abortion centers are being covered by the state because they want to protect the sacrament of Satan at all costs. I wanted to talk about the fact that people are being arrested for posting things on Facebook and retweeting things on Twitter, and that they're letting thousands of criminals out early in order to put these people into prison. I wanted to talk about the fact that we took Christ out of our schools, out of our daily life, removed Christ as the foundation, and without a foundation, the house will eventually crumble. And essentially, the message was against Marxism and a warning about Islam, but a promotion of Christendom. And I honestly think that what the Americans have to consider at this moment is that who they elect in this election is going to affect not just America, but the rest of the world. And it's not just about making America great again. It's about making it's about making the West Christendom again, in fact. And so we all have a stake in this. But while I was there, so I spoke on that stage. A few moments later, Donald Trump came out to speak, and it was one of the most intimate interviews I've seen him give so far. So he was interviewed by Pastor Paula White, and she was asking him about his faith journey, and he just opened up about how he was raised as a Christian and his whole faith story. I'm sure it will be on social media today because I think the footage gets released today. But it was a question that a lot of us have been asking or waiting to see asked for a long time. We've been speculating, is he a Christian? What's his faith? Does he understand, about the assassination attempt and God's hand in that, and all these kind of questions? And he laid it all bare, which I thought was very good. And then we were all invited, the priests that spoke were invited onto the stage to pray for Donald Trump. So we prayed for him, we blessed him, and then I got to meet him. And this is what happened next. So I'm waiting. Yeah, they're playing the YMCA because that's what they play when he's finished speaking. Right? They're expecting him to move off the stage and have his little jig, but he didn't. He stayed around to talk to us and you can see I'm shaking hands and having a quick chat. But one thing I learned is that he's very generous with his time, and actually surprisingly humble. People paint him as this guy with a massive ego. I think he's got a lot of self-awareness, and he does promote himself. He does blow his own trumpet, but he's humble in the way that he can make time for people and meet them on a level. And it's just a very human side to him, which I don't think often gets portrayed. And if we move to the next slide, I spoke to him later on as well. And then, so this is, I got a quick photograph, which is an absolute pleasure because it's quite a difficult thing to get. He's a man in demand. But I spoke to him about the state of the United Kingdom, and I won't repeat what he said because I believe in trust. And actually, I didn't say I was there as a journalist. I was there to pray for him, so I was there as a priest. But what I did say is that the state of the UK is dire, and we're all looking to him, and we're looking to the United States as our big cousin, essentially, to do the right thing. And so this is the picture of that handshake. And it was a wonderful, wonderful event. Great time. It was great to meet him. It's great to meet the other priests who are, also seeing the problem with the West and that there is only one way out of this. And I don't think it is Kamala Harris, but I'll get to her later. And many Christians are saying things like, Donald Trump is a sinner. But yes, we are all sinners. He's a misogynist. He's said things about grabbing women by the, he's said inappropriate things. We've all said inappropriate things. However, the opposition is promoting evil. The opposition is promoting the killing of unborn children. The opposition is promoting the idea of removing free speech. The First and Second Amendment, actually. They want to get rid of the guns, too. They put out a tweet just last night saying to ban assault weapons, they call them. What's an assault weapon? That could be anything. It's an ambiguous term. And so if the Democrats do not believe in the Constitution, they are unconstitutional and undemocratic. And at the same time, they're promoting the idea of abortion on a state level, on a national level, on a federal level. It's wicked. And so even if you can't vote for Trump, I think you have to vote against Kamala. And the only way to vote against Kamala is to vote for Trump. But I'm not here to promote Trump. I'm just here to say I prayed for him and I hope he does well. But I think Americans have to pray through this and discern through this and vote with their conscience. But I don't see how any Christian could vote for Kamala.
Thank you for watching my Common Sense Crusade. If you'd like to watch the whole show, you can subscribe to lotuseaters.com for as little as £5 per month, and then you get access to a bank of content as well. My show is 3 p.m. every Thursday. See you there. Deus Vult.